Hi, everyone. Wonderful to be here. Wonderful to see you all in a imagination sense, because of course I'm just staring at a computer screen. But I know I'm talking to you. I know our existences are mutually co-arising. Um, it is good to be here. It's good to be sitting on the cushion. It's good to be talking about Dharma. It's always good to do those things. Just a short one today, I think. Um, my notes, the notes I'm looking at here, tell me that this talk is called "Suffering is a Great Jewel." So I don't know if I'll stick with that title when I post this. It's a good title. It's true. Suffering is a great jewel, but it's also a hard sell. That's a tough sell, isn't it? Um, Maybe you could hear or feel the parts of you that immediately resisted that proposition. Suffering is a great jewel. What are you talking about? That's what we're here to get rid of, right? That's what we're here to make go away through our diligent practice. Surely we'll eradicate this thing called suffering. Oh, depending on how we talk about it, yes, that's true. When understood one way, that's correct. When understood another way, not at all. So we'll just play with that today. Um, the uh, the catalyst, the catalyst for this talk was a short passage, actually a short video. It was a short, a reel. I think you call it a reel, don't you? Those really short, like 30-second videos that you see on social media. I was really moved by it because the depth of feeling and the clarity and passion with which it was delivered was really evident. It was Krishnamurti. A lot of you know Krishnamurti. Not a Buddhist teacher, really, but I don't think he was an anything teacher. I'm sure he would have thrown out any category you could have given him. Very, very gifted, extremely advanced teaching. Contemporary, I mean, he's dead now, but, you know, contemporary meaning the past 100 odd years or something. And he was talking about suffering. And so I wrote down what he said. I watched the video a few times and I thought, I want to speak to that because he's giving us a beautiful teaching. It's very much in keeping with Mahayana Buddhism, um, traditional slash orthodox slash Theravadan Buddhism, perhaps not so. That's why I say, seen one way it's this, seen another way it's another. I think fundamentally the same dynamic is going on. I don't see these traditions as being oppositional. I see them as being stages, and one is kind of built upon the other, and you cannot skip stages. So if what motivates you in your practice is eradicate suffering, then good for you. That's as good a reason to sit down and practice as any. It's a much more honest and direct. At least you're telling yourself, the truth about what your experience is and what your relationship is. And I think that softens and evolves and grows as time goes on. So the two, again, aren't oppositional. It's just when you're born, there's no Santa. And then you learn there is a Santa, and there is a Santa. And then eventually you learn Santa is not real in that way, but real in another way, and things get a little fuzzier. It's a lot like that. So here's what Krishnamurti said. This is direct now. Suffering is like a jewel, a great jewel. You know, if you have a great jewel in your hand, you look at it, you marvel at it, you see the beauty of it, how it is set in platinum, gold, silver, with such delicacy, such refinement, with such beauty. You hold it and you look and you never want to run away from it. In the very same way, if one can hold that thing, sorrow, not get morbid, not run away from it, just to hold it and look at it. So that's Krishnamurti. Suffering is a great jewel. The metaphor is beautiful. It really works. It works because we all understand the word jewel on one level as being just a synonym for something of tremendous value. It's also a really apt metaphor because jewels, um, as we usually think of them, have many facets. It's one object, the diamond or the ruby or the whatever it is. And yet they have many, many facets. The stone is cut in such a way that it has many, many, many different sides, right? Many angles, many surfaces. And it works on that level too. Um, Suffering is a great jewel. We start by just saying suffering is a great jewel, like the three jewels in Buddhism, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, has inherent preciousness because it exists. We just start with that. The fact that it exists means it's included in the circle of wonder. It's included in the majesty of creation. It's a microcosm of the macrocosm. Anything that we imagine is separate, or anything that we imagine is separate, I guess. Any small thing, like me, or like you, the device that you're using to listen to this talk. The fingers on your hands, anything you imagine is separate. We understand that on one level they are separate, and on another level they are just an expression of the whole. And so a moment of suffering can be no different. This pushes us past our predilection for preference. Suffering is a great jewel, is a direct confrontation with our preference, our deepest preference. He mentions in his quote, sorrow, as a particular example of suffering. Any expression of suffering, any variety of suffering, any flavor or texture would be just as good, just as adequate here. It is a great jewel because it is here, it exists, and it belongs. Therefore it belongs. It's just there. It belongs. Right? The first noble truth of Buddhism tells us that humans resist. Humans prefer strongly. Humans are attached to those preferences. And so they suffer. Suffering is an inextricable part of the human experience. That's the first noble truth. That's part of the deal. Part of the deal is people say no to stuff that is, and therefore they suffer. Right? Suffering just exists. It's built in. It's part of our DNA. So is pain too, but a distinction is made there in the second and third and fourth noble truths about the nature of what separates pain from suffering and everything else. But suffering is a great jewel because it is an experience everybody understands. It has 1,000 trillion infinite myriad expressions, this gigantic category that we call suffering. Nevertheless, we have an opportunity in every moment to hold that part of ourselves, that part of our experience, that thing that is present, the thing that we call resistance, constriction, struggle, suffering, the I don't like it, the no. We have an opportunity to pull it up. We have an opportunity to pull it up, that piece of creation, that piece of the miracle that is life. We have a chance to pull that piece of the miracle up in our awareness, like holding a jewel in our hand. As meditators, that's actually what we do. I'm not telling you anything new. You're like, well, yeah, you notice and you hold and you bear witness to an experience of suffering, just like you would notice and hold and bear witness to the sound of a bird, or the feeling of stiffness in your knee, or the noticing of thought, or anything. The experience of breathing. What's the difference? There isn't. You're right. But Krishnamurti is challenging our strongest preference. Sorrow is our least favorite thing. Suffering is our least favorite thing. grief, anger, resentment, rage, confusion, loss, whatever. That's our least favorite thing. Suffering is our very, very, very least favorite thing. And the First Noble Truth says it's inescapable. Absolutely inescapable. It's just baked into the deal. Can you do something about it? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Of course. That's the Third Noble Truth and the Fourth Noble Truth. But there it is, there it is, there it is. And so by saying it's a great jewel, it's just reminding us it's part of the fabric of experience, of living itself, living itself. And we have no problem as human beings naturally affirming life. We all go, oh, life is good. It's death that's bad, right? Can you feel how we set that up? Life is good. It's the bad parts of life that are bad, right? Joy is good, sorrow is bad. Happy is good, suffering is bad. Babies are good. Sickness, old age, and death are bad. This is our picking and choosing. This is, of course, what creates our suffering. But by reminding us, it's a great jewel. It's part of an experience. The experience is called life itself, aliveness, consciousness, awareness itself. You can't pull that piece out. It's not it's not a separate part that you could remove. It's woven into the cloth. It is therefore a great jewel. And then by using the example of how we would hold in our hands and study and wonder and marvel at the beautiful jewel, we have an opportunity to pay attention to our suffering in the very same way. This is challenging teaching. I recognize the simplicity of what's being said. Suffering is a jewel. All moments of experience are a jewel. That's just a duh. Spiritually speaking, that's a duh. It exists. It's included in creation. It's part of the whole. The whole is holy. Therefore, obviously, it's worth your attention. It's worth marveling at. Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody would get that at some point. That's just a spiritual truism. But the invitation to hold it like a jewel and to examine it, to really allow it. And then the facets. Do you see how it's this? 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 It invites us to look at a moment of suffering as having many, 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 many different facets. It has a karma. In other words, it has a history. It has a conditioning. Something created it. It exists, so something created it. It's created of something. The causes and conditions for that moment of suffering that you are experiencing are included in that suffering. All of the causes and all the conditions are part of it. They're all facets. They're all part of what created that thing. All of them. You can bear witness to that. You can see that. You can be curious about it. You can wonder after it. Wonder can happen in the midst of suffering, right? We understand that. We can wonder. We can have joy. We can have contentment in the midst of suffering. It's actually better to say that suffering is happening in the middle of joy, or happening in the middle of wonder, or happening in the middle of contentment. We don't need for it to be different. We can just allow the pain to be pain. And as we're holding it as a jewel, as we're wondering after it, as we're looking at its many facets, as we're lowering our resistance to it, as we're dropping our armor and our defenses against it, the thing that we call dukkha, the thing we call suffering, it is transformed. Of course it is, because now I'm not fighting with it anymore. I'm just wondering after it. Now it's just pain. Now it's just pain. It is absolutely possible to experience sorrow without the suffering of sorrow. You can just experience the sorrow, or the pain of a broken leg, or the pain of it being too cold, or the pain of it being too hot, or the pain of being thirsty, or the pain of. It's okay. So I love this quote. I love this idea. I love this teaching that Krishnamurti is offering us. I love this idea that suffering is a great jewel. I appreciate the spiritual truth of it. I appreciate the clarity of the instruction. I appreciate the simplicity. I appreciate the reminder that anything seen deeply is holy. Anything seen deeply is wondrous, infinite. It is. Not pleasant, not preference. The invitation's way bigger than that. Please don't exclude your own experience of suffering from the tapestry of that which you hold holy, or you're getting rid of a huge part of your life. The jewel is right there, and we throw it out, and we throw it out, and we throw it out, and we throw it out. And I understand why. I understand this is a very simple teaching, and it's a very difficult, extremely advanced, very advanced teaching. The ability to actually do this is very, very challenging for us. And so we challenge ourselves to do it in our practice, on our cushion, off our cushion, in the car, while you're walking the dog. We do it little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit. Oh, I can see that. I can see that constriction. Oh, I can see that moment of anger. Oh, I can see my judgment. Oh, I can see my sadness. Oh, I can see my confusion. Oh, I can see my, there it is. And breath after breath, starting with these little bits, we just go, oh, there it is. Can I soften around it? Can I remind myself of its fundamental inclusion? Can I be consciousness that turns toward it and says, you belong. It's okay that you're here. I will pull you up and see you. I will challenge myself to do that. It might be only 1/100th of the sorrow I'm feeling, and I might be only able to hold it in the hand of my awareness for 3 breaths. But boy, that matters. Because next time it'll be 4 breaths, and then it'll be 5, and then instead of 1/100th, it'll be 2/100ths, and then 3/100ths. We understand the progression. We're stretching ourselves. All right? We all understand when we hear Krishnamurti say, suffering is a great jewel. There's part of us that goes, yeah, that's right. That sounds like a spiritual truism. That sounds like scripture. Correct. That's good dharma. And then we can also feel how far away our experience is from that and go, oh, oof, I recognize that's true, but ooh, that's not a place I live. I do not live from that place. Wow, I have a lot of work to do. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of work to do. Yeah, of course. A lot of work to do. But what a beautiful aspiration. What an incredibly beautiful aspiration. I will see you as a jewel. I think if we allow ourselves to maybe anthropomorphize suffering, I mean, it is a human experience after all, anthropomorphize the jewel. Imagine we are that jewel of suffering, and we rush towards somebody that we love. Don't we want to be seen as a jewel? Don't we want to be welcomed in to their awareness? Don't we want to be welcomed into their home, into their heart, into their love? Don't we want that? When we are in anger, when we're in sadness, when we're deluded and confused, don't we want somebody to say, oh, I see you. You're a jewel. And I understand that you're suffering, and I understand you're confused or you're angry. Come on in, right? Come on in. We can work on this together. I'll be with you. I'm willing to be with you. As opposed to, you are not a jewel right now. You are mud. You are dirt. You are a stone. And you will be a jewel when you are back to feeling peaceful and happy and content. We can feel how spiritually incorrect that idea would be. That if we brought pain, if we brought suffering to those that we love, and they turned us away, we would understand, well, actually, that's not love. Right? That's just preference. That's just a relationship of ego. And yet when our own suffering shows up, of course, we do what humans have always done, which is go away. I do not want to acknowledge you. I do not want to listen to you. I do not want to feel you. I do not want to understand you. I don't want to hold you. And I don't want to look at you. Oh, I see. So, of course we create more suffering. Of course we split. We split. We split. And then we imagine that parts of us are jewels and parts of us are stones. Such sadness we create. So to wrap up, Buddha, the thing we call Buddha in its largest sense, not the historical human, but Buddha, enlightenment itself, the thing that everything is, Buddha, enlightenment, consciousness itself, love, functions in a human life as compassion, the thing we call compassion, and the thing we call wisdom. This is a great reduction, but it's just the way we're talking about it today, and I've heard this many, many, many times. It's got compassion and it's got wisdom. This is the functioning of Buddha in the space of a human life, and then we can further dissect both those categories into a million more. We have compassion, our ability to turn towards suffering, to experience suffering, to be a safe haven for suffering, to be a home for suffering, to meet it with tenderness, holding. And then wisdom is our ability, I'm touching my third eye, to discern, to see clearly, to understand, right? Clear seeing, understanding what is true and what is not. Because we understand how delusion and misunderstanding feed suffering, right? And so we have to be with these things. Compassion and wisdom. He ends his little quote by saying, not to run away from it, just to hold it and look at it. That's the simplest meditation instruction I have ever heard, and I think it's deeply profound. I actually also think Krishnamurti understood the place from which he was giving that instruction. Because hold it and look at it could be pretty trite. It could also be an invitation to a completely different way of being alive, especially when we're talking about suffering. I recognize that I am suffering. That's usually the first step for all of us, to recognize suffering is present. That's the moment of, oh my goodness, it's happening. Right? That's like the first light bulb that goes off. Oh, I see it. And we discover this during meditation, usually more deeply than we discover it if we are not meditators. We begin to see the subtlety of suffering, the universality of suffering. Yeah, that means everybody gets it. Everybody has it. But it also means it's woven into every moment. And so on the cushion, usually, again, off the cushion too, but on the cushion, things get slower and they get quieter and we're more focused, so we can see some of these more subtle movements. We start seeing its presence. Oh, it's really always there. It's never actually absent. And we get to know it, right? It becomes a much more known quantity, much more familiar to us. And so we start understanding that to hold and to look is actually all that's required. Holding is compassion. My instinct is to push away. And he's inviting us, just hold it. Can you feel? Not grab, not grasp, not clutch, not cling, not attach, not control. Just hold. That's an open hand. I see you. And look. That's wisdom. Holding is compassion. Looking is wisdom. What are you? There you are. Part of the fabric of the great universe. And it has all those dimensions and all those facets. I can just look at them. Right? By reframing our point of contact as wonder, our point of contact meaning, oh, I'm aware and now I have a relationship with this thing called suffering that's required of me. That's my point of contact, right? By reframing that as wonder, instead of problem solving, right? Or pathologizing, or grabbing and owning, or pushing away, he's already, Krishnamurti's simple instruction, is already allowing us to go past just ego responses. We can see, I just have to hold and look. I'm sad today. Oh. Hold it and look. I'm confused today. Hold it and look. I'm angry today. Hold it and look. And obviously this works for all moments of experience. He's choosing suffering because it's the most challenging for us. But obviously happiness, same thing, right? Distraction, excitement, anticipation, reluctance, whatever. Hold and look, hold and look, hold and look, hold and look. Instructions for a lifetime. Hold and look. Wow. So that's my talk. It's on the shorter side for once. This is short for me. I'm just planting this seed a little more deeply. There's nothing new in what I've said here. There's nothing new in what he said. This is an ancient teaching. This predates the written word, I'm sure. Such is human nature that we need to be reminded this often. And such is the difficulty of living this teaching that we need to be reminded this often. I'll remind all of you who are listening to this, because probably very few of you are sequestered or isolated in monasteries. Probably most of you have what we might call, with quotes around it, a normal life. An apartment and a house and relatives and friends and a job and all that kind of stuff. And so I'll remind all of us, there are people who renounce culture, who renounce society, who renounce the things of the world and go off to monasteries. Deep in mountains, deep in forests, in the Christian tradition and the Buddhist tradition and the Muslim tradition, right? The Islamic tradition, the Jewish tradition, who devote their entire lives to just trying to apprehend and live from the place that this simple teaching describes. This is no small thing. This is no small thing. Suffering is a great jewel. That touches the very DNA of what we actually are, human and divine. It goes right to the center of the cross. All of our human expression, all of our human DNA, all of our human tissue, all of our human karma, all of our human instincts to turn away, turn away, turn away, shut down, run, quit, avoid, conquer, numb, and all of our spirit nature, our Buddha nature. Hold, love, wonder, marvel, touch, feel, allow, look. Can you feel it? We are both of those things. And one of those things is designed perfectly to hold the other and to look at it. What a simple instruction. Thank you, Krishnamurti. And thank you. Thank you for your interest in this. Thank you for your practice, whatever your practice looks like. Thank you very much. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.